Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm in LA for Daddy Daughter Day 3. Daddy Daughter in LA Day 3. Yeah, that's it. So my daughter Patrice and I took a trip to LA because we're shooting some different things, different projects. We do have a film coming out this month called Resurrecting Black Wall Street: The Blueprint. It is the re-up of a previous film that we did last year, and this one's so much better. We have award-winning filmmaker Dorian Chandler on the project, and she's done an amazing job. And we're really excited. We're going to do the premiere in early March for the film. And so this is all part of Your Black World Films, something that we're trying to do. It's not easy because it takes just a ton of money to make movies. In Hollywood, they just throw money in the garbage can, it seems like. But anyway, I had a thought today, and I wanted to share this. And this is something that really made me think about the education system, just what we get at universities, how education has changed over time. And I'll tell you this quick story, and then I'm going to get back to work. I was teaching at the Ohio State University when I was working on my PhD. I was in my, I'd say, late 20s, and I was teaching a finance class at that time. And I remember there was this white guy who was, and not that his being white mattered, but I think race does matter because a lot of college professors just endure this crazy discrimination. Your white students will look at you and wonder if you're qualified to teach the class. You've got to prove to them that you're qualified, whereas a white guy might get the benefit of the doubt. And with me being a young black man at the time, it was really difficult. So there was one guy who was actually older than me. And I remember I had the hardest time getting respect from this asshole. He was the biggest prick on the planet. He used to come into my class, and he would pull out his newspaper and pull his newspaper in front of his face to block me while I'm teaching this class. I mean, I literally wanted to go up and smack the newspaper out of his hand and punch him upside his head. That's how mad I was. But I didn't do that. I did ask him to leave the class eventually. But, he was just the biggest prick. I mean, just the typical arrogant, kind of the worst kind of white male that there is, in the sense if you talk about racism and just being disrespected, just thinking about that experience infuriates me. But anyway, I remember when one day I came to class a little early. It was right before I was about to teach my exam or give my exam, and I saw this guy, the prick, sitting at a table with some other students. And I just kind of sat down with everybody because I was waiting for the classroom to become available because the other students were finishing their exam. And I know what it was. I was teaching 2 sections in a row, so I just actually taught the previous class. So I sat down at the table with this guy, and I didn't say anything. I wasn't thinking much about anything. And I noticed he was being really nice to me. He was like, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going? How's it going?" And I was like, "Why is this guy being nice to me? He's the same guy who pulls the newspaper in front of his face every time he comes to my class." And I thought about it, then I looked around, and I noticed everybody was acting weird. And I looked, how you feel like there's something, like almost like walking into an intervention when everybody's acting strange and you don't know why. It was like that. I was looking around and like, okay, what's going on? Then I put 2 and 2 together, and I said, wait a minute, these 2 students are from the previous class. These 2 are from the upcoming class. The people in the previous class already took the test. The people in the other class haven't taken the test yet. So they are cheating. So now, mind you, maybe I'm dense. Maybe it took me a little longer than most, but I put it together, and it hit me, and I said, hold on, wait a minute, I got to go. And I got up and I went straight to my chairman's office, the finance department. I went to the chairman and I said, there's a guy in my class. I said, he's been very disrespectful, but this has nothing to do with this issue. I just caught him and 3 other students cheating on the exam. And so I gave them all a 0. The prick insisted on still turning in his test because he was all. It was real funny. It's real funny to see how humble people become when they know they're caught, when they know that they're screwed. I mean, because like I said, this guy had been disrespectful the whole semester, and I really had him by the testicles straight out. So I was going to fail him. I was like, you know what? The rule says. Let me show you in the handbook where it says that if you cheat on an exam, you automatically fail the class. So you're failing my class. You're not passing. You're not passing this test. You're not passing this class. And suddenly he's begging. He's like, if I don't pass the class, I'm not going to graduate. I'm like, you should have thought about that before you cheated. And I didn't even bring up the fact that he'd been so disrespectful before. Would that have made a difference? I don't know. But I can definitely say that that he was busted and it was done. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not grading this test. So I took his test and I threw it in the garbage. And so he goes to his parents and goes to the administrators and goes and tells some bullshit story about what happened. And but the thing was, I had already told the chairman what was going on. And I'll never forget the chairman bringing me into his office and telling me to go ahead and pass this asshole, to pass him. Even though he clearly blatantly broke the rules. He clearly blatantly cheated on this test. He clearly blatantly was supposed to fail this exam. But I was being told to overlook it and let him by because he needs this grade to graduate. And on top of that, I was being asked to give him a good score on the test so it wouldn't ruin his GPA. That experience really infuriates me just for a lot of reasons. Personal reasons are obvious, but even beyond that, I really wonder if that had been a black girl named Shaquita or a black guy named Deontay, if they would have taken such extreme measures to allow him to pass that class. Now, mind you, that maybe they do that for black students too. I don't know. But I remember sitting there with the chairman, and I was kind of being a pain in the butt because I was kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, you can't do this. No, this isn't right. Like, this guy cheated, and the rules say, here, you need me to show you the rule book? It didn't matter. He still passed this kid and let him graduate, even though I blatantly, clearly caught him cheating, and there were several witnesses to that effect. And now, is this white male privilege? I don't know. But I know it certainly is. I think honestly, it's partly a reflection of just the deteriorating quality of our college educational system. Anyway, I saw similar situations when I was at Syracuse, where I would sit there and say, why are these students being passed? Because some of them don't know the basics about finance. I mean, in our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program, we have 9-year-olds who know finance better than the students who are graduating out of some of those classes. And I would say, why are you afraid to give these students an F? And I know that at some private universities, there's a fear because they need the money. They need the money from their parents or whatever. Now, public schools, I don't know, but I can definitely say that things have changed. Things have really changed. And I also think about that experience, and it reminds me of just some of the hell that I went through trying to teach white kids. Which is one of the reasons why I love teaching black people now. I'm very, very happy doing that. It's literally the happiest I've ever been in my life. I didn't enjoy teaching white kids, not because they were all bad people. A lot of them were great. I loved a lot of my students. But some of them just, felt that they could treat you any old kind of way. And I'm not your boy. I am not a boy. You are not going to talk down to me as if I am not the teacher of this class. And it makes me think about Judge Olu Stevens out in Louisville, Kentucky, and what he's going through. He's the authority in his courtroom, and he's got these white people questioning his authority. And that's one of the subtle, I guess they call them, they have terms for this stuff, microaggressions, right? Scholars use these terms. These are the terms like microaggression are, to me, the black scholars' way of politely saying that you guys are mistreating us, because many of them, unfortunately, are not in a position where they know how to even have their own business. So they're kind of scared. They're afraid of losing tenure and losing, white friends and and this artificial fake prestige that you're given in academia when you accomplish meaningless objectives that are put in front of you to waste your life away. I'm not that guy. I just, see it as it is, and the racism's intolerable. It's unacceptable. You shouldn't have to tolerate it. And when you prepare your kids for the future, make sure you position them so they don't have to put up with that nonsense. Don't let anybody treat you like a second-class citizen. But the other thing, too, is you got to be strategic. You have to be in a position where you can say, F you, I'm gone, if they do disrespect you. But if you're locked in and you don't have any money invested, you don't have another stream of income, you don't have any money saved, your bills are through the roof, then you're going to be stuck. And you're going to feel like a slave, and you're going to be very unhappy because they're going to abuse you because you feel like you have nowhere to go other than the white man's economic system in order to pay your bills. There is a better way. There are alternatives out there. But if you don't believe that they exist, then they never will. So that's all I wanted to share. I just had to share that story because it was on my mind today. I don't know why it came back today, but it just really, every time I think, it was literally many years ago. I want to say maybe 15, 16 years ago. But these are the kinds of things that so many of us go through in the workplace, just ridiculous, racist nonsense, that's just not fair. And the thing is that people think that we're supposed to just take it because we're black. They really look at you and just say, well, you're black, so you don't have any other choice. You're black, so your life is supposed to be different from mine. Yeah, you're black, so you're supposed to endure things that I would never, ever want to endure, that I would never tolerate in my own life. And I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not trying to live that way. So anyway, that's it. So that's the daddy-daughter talk for today. My daughter's not around. My daughter's in the other room. But tomorrow we're going to go and we're going to shoot, Damon Dash and I are going to shoot some Intelligent Boss Moves content that's business and finance related. We're going to talk about, and if you ever want to know why Damon and I are friends, it's because we both believe in strength. We believe in independence. We believe in manhood. We believe in fatherhood. So we're two 44-year-old black men who both, I guess we're old school in our thinking. We're not into kissing anybody's butt or kowtowing in order to get ahead. I don't think any black person should have to do that. I say to you, if you're raising a black son, raise him to be a man, not to be somebody's little boy. If you're raising a daughter, you raise her to be a queen, not to be somebody's little whatever, to kick around and treat however they want. That's not acceptable for our kids, and I'm not going to take it. So anyway, take care, guys. And by the way, I should make sure I remind you, if you haven't signed up for the blackbusinessschool.com, go sign up for the blackbusinessschool.com. That's where we have over 15,000 African American people who are all studying business and investing and how to invest in the stock market and all kinds of stuff. And some of our stuff is actually free. The sign up is free. There are some courses that have a cost, but they're very reasonably priced. And I guarantee you this much: what you learn over there will be far better than what you'll ever learn in any business school in the country. And that's guaranteed. If you don't like it, you can have your money back. So take care, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.